Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Onitsha Education Foundation Students End of the Year Hangout. My name is Chukwuma Ogbonnaya, and I'm going to be facilitating this session with Dr. Kenneth Omabe. So, the program of activities today is basically to introduce ourselves. So what we can do is once in a while, we allow people to introduce themselves as they come. But I think we have Dr. Nathaniel Obasi here. We have Mr. Edward Uchenna Sunday. So, and MC Obvious was here earlier before network became unstable. So we'll continue to introduce ourselves as we come on. So we are going to record this session and upload it on the OEF YouTube channel, and also share the link so that people can watch it when they are ready to do so. So we have two major sessions today. The first one is OEF and opportunities for you, to tell you about the opportunities you can explore within OEF. The second one is a presentation by myself on strategic planning and futuring. So we'll talk about what the students would want OEF to do for them or the student community, and we'll now close because we'll have a budget session later this evening. So I will now yield the floor for Dr. Kenneth Omabe to make this presentation to inform and enlighten students from Onitsha community about what Onitsha Education Foundation might offer them as students or their friends from Onitsha community who may not be aware of the existence of OEF. So please, Kenneth, can you please take the stage? Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you, everyone. It's indeed a privilege to have this meeting and a brief talk, just to remind us of whom we are and what we are doing and what we intend to do, where we are and where we are going as well. It's not a new news that Onitsha Education Foundation is a community-based foundation. Destiny, please, could you mute just
Yes,
everyone else?
I'll be doing that.
Yeah. Onitsha Education Foundation is a kind of community-based foundation that is seeking to re-inject value and make education more attractive in our community on Kigbes and Ibai. How do we intend to do that? By creating a sustainable system that we create, just like found in our strategic document, that will create mobilize communal and extra-communal actions to transform talents of Onitsha youths, then an human resource to enable our youth to fully live their potentials and then be useful to the society. And these are just a convergence of people who have toured this path of different areas or aspects of life in pursuing career and then coming together to put heads together to use support and mentorship to create this sustainable transgenerational move that will be able to change our people, make education more attractive. And I've been just quickly asked to talk on what we are looking at, which include networking with people, the values we intend to 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 float, or which has been on which has been on for some time. How do we network with people from home, different people, basically students, just like all of us, not by different places now, go for different universities, different cities of Nigeria, and even different cities outside Nigeria, how to network with people at home, and then take advantage of the values in what you can make use of. At least, for example, this meeting, it creates now to have a one-on-one, a mind-to-mind talk within brothers. You will know me. There are areas I'll be able to render help when you need it. There are areas you may be able to meet other students. Like for some of you, different specialties, doing different projects. There are opportunities you can get by just knowing that there's a student from your community that is in this place, maybe doing the same thing you are doing. And then from some people who have who are serving as mentors to you, you can actually get information relevant to them, either from home or from across anywhere they are residing. And then we want to create a platform that we're able to reunite people from home and abroad so that we can bring ideas together to always bring solution to whatever problem each of us is undergoing in our careers, including educational career, but not exclusively education career. However, an education is like a broad-based kind of, which OEF has actually developed a strategy to make sure that anything in what a youth is supposed to do, that you get the support by the grace of God, which one of them is through bursary and scholarships, especially for those who didn't know universities, just like you are from different universities studying different courses. We tend to roll out some bursaries in the future, and then scholarships. People who are facing different problems. Mama, where we are coming from. We know that our parents don't always have that money. We know that our parents are not always rich, and we struggle out of thick and thin, to make it in the university and still come out. So there are people that had in the past dropped out of university due to means of paying school fees. There are people who are extraordinarily brilliant and intelligent that we would want to also inject that motivation more in them by granting them some opportunities of scholarship, paying some of their fees, subsidizing the expenses they make, leveraging some burdens, same way you can to motivate them to grow. So by bursary and scholarship, OEF will be actually supporting students, which into it, part of what we are going to make after now is the budget for next year. So just you watch the space of media platforms of OEF to see when advertisements will be made and the strategies or the modalities to actually roll out those bursaries and scholarships. Then there's a kind of student loan without interest, which we have mapped out in case we actually individual basis, we study your case. If your case is a case we may want to give you money as a grant or as a scholarship or as a loan where you wouldn't pay interest. Please, if you want to come in at any point, Destiny, you may want to let me know where you wouldn't pay interest.
No, good evening.
Oh, welcome, my brother. I think everybody is muted, so even if they talk, you will not hear them. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Who is it? Is that Dr. Jake?
Yes.
Welcome, sir. Welcome,
Thank you.
sir. We had just started in a while. So we have student loan without interest to be paid at convenience, where we, like I said, we study individual student case and know what is the right intervention. So you have to meet the requirements for loan, but there's not going to be interest. Like in the Western world where we are, I'm in France right now. I'm talking from France, city of Marseille. So students sometimes, most of the times, with that leverage to go to bank and borrow money, to go to school, and after that they pay when they start working. Most governments of the Western world do it. So that opportunity in the side. So OEF has thought it wise to come up with this modality of maybe with a fund and how to go from all angles. So we can decide to give you loan, maybe loan that will pay your fees for the 4 years, or loan that can pay your fee for that number of for that particular time, or that can solve any problem education wise. And then a daily when without interest. So these are values to enable to reinject that motivation to go to school as an education with the basis for most developmental strides other communities and states they may achieve. Then through mentoring. Now mentoring, otu anyị meet Igbarante. Some people are in University of Calabar, some in Ebonyi State University, some in UNIO, some in different universities, Futo and rest of them. Some may have not met me. Some may not have met Destiny. Some may not have met Ejaik or even Nathaniel. So, and we might be meeting for the first time. Then by this platform, because just like a gathering, I cannot gather, churches, schools, those are places of meeting. And those are places where social life starts, where you begin to interact. So knowing that there's somebody who may be in, like, if you are in medical science, if you are in biomedical science, if you are in medicine, if you are studying anything related to health, yes, I may have opportunity to give you guidance. If you are in engineering, if you are in mathematics, if you are in any physical science, if you are, Destiny Ejaik in IT, there are people who are in this area that can mentor you, tell you, okay, this is how it is done. Even during your projects, you get mentorship, specific mentorship according to your area of specialization. We're not doing environmental science or in agri. Dr. Nat is a specialist. So we have people who do professionalize in different areas that will be able to take you up and guide you. What most of us did not get was this mentorship. Dr. Nat would always say, them we didn't get this big mentorship that we intend to bring to table. So we'll be mentoring people according to guide them career-wise, to advise them. These are the mistakes we made. Please, we wouldn't want you to make this mistake. To make it faster, go through this way. I might be bringing an example of where, in the lab where I did my PhD, two people from Nigeria, which I recommended to my supervisor that they are now doing their PhD. So me, I came here with nobody's help. Nobody has assisted me. Nobody has, but I suffered. But when these people came, the speed engine with that result within 1 year, which I could not get without. So because Nemuno woman or to create that path for them, and they are very much happy about it. That's what mentoring is. It gives you an edge, an advantage over time that you say, hey, yeah, go get it no more. Only it would have taken you much of the time. Then career support, which also encapsulated under this mentorship, support could come in different dimension as you may want to. Because when you graduate, you may want to look for a job. When you graduate, you may want to, just I spoke with somebody today telling me I want to go into business as much as I'm coming out from school. Okay, and so yeah, we can start mapping out strategies for a good business. One of my brothers would always want to say that maybe in a football, whatever thing you want to do on earth, do it as an educated person, that the difference will always be clear. And that is what the mantra we want to sing. Then scholarship and application support. Like there are so many scholarships now for Tamante. Anyway, few months ago, by January, February, more we come out. PTDF, I think, is out. When we Commonwealth scholarship, and then bilateral education agreement is also out. So which you can be told how to make this application. You can be guided. There is a scholarship body, scholarship committee in OEF that is in charge of. Is which member. Engineer Benison is the chairman of that committee. So we have strategies how we can guide you to make motivational statements, to write statement of purpose, to make your application to look superb so that you become competitive with others. Because these scholarships are being applied for by every individual in Nigeria. So from all areas. So how competitive your application looks will determine if you be taken or not. So we offer, OEF is offering this platform to guide our people so that they can benefit and competitively compete for scholarships like this. So I signed a Fundamante PTDF on. I was speaking with somebody, I was sending I said, go and apply for PTDF. Now, two people, they were my students in Funai. They are very good. So you've graduated, go and apply for this. I said, so what is PTDF? Is it a scholar? And so this is the problem. That people only graduate from university, we can do a PTDF scholarship. So that's this information need to be passed. And we are happy that we have created a platform that will actually bring this information at your beck and call. So we'll be able to render support to make these applications. And The next slide, I think we'll have number 7, Destiny, but it appears it's not showing on my screen. Destiny, unmute yourself so that you can hear me. Something is going on. Something's wrong here.
Opportunities to volunteer, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Where you can volunteer to serve a role in OEF as a student. You know, like in time to come, or we had discussed about that. Time will come, Agbatia school, we want to create an extramural lessons for students in the Nonunu, Mondinawaye. We believe O2X mass in the people from different universities, students, Waharante, this second year, third year. If you are doing a mathematics, you are already in second year. I'm sure go bataime ikuziri ndi wayek, ndi gine wayek nibanya, ikuziri maths, you'll be very good. If you are doing engineering, that mathematics, physics, chemistry will be very good. If you are doing any management course, you take up government, you take up all those English literature and all that, Kuzia. So try to bring up all of you students from different places so that when you come home, you have it as a sense of responsibility that need equals to start giving back. Now, just like Hanoma examples, I did it quite well. Destiny did it quite well. I stayed close to 4 years in the village after my secondary school to teach before I got into the university. So it's not a new thing. So we can start doing this thing so that under the platform of OEF, and yeah, I'm obliged, yeah, bring your platform, email or dizzy. Yabro maka yabro, in a new agba more mention community secondary school. Technical. He may need some assistance to actually move there. So provide those modalities and what you may be needing to do that. So you have to actually, which we hope that everyone is actually interested to the success of this OEF. So you want to make volunteer to feature in an opportunity to also create impact on your own. So at the end of the talk or the meeting, you'll be able to also give a response and then provide suggestions where you think it could actually make things work for our people. Get the next slide, Destiny. You shouldn't mute yourself so that you can be hearing me because I can't control the slide from here. So I think that's up. So I give on the remaining aspects of this talk to Destiny to finish on the strategic planning and futuring of OEF. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Kane. That was a wonderful presentation. And I appreciate. Let me remind us that we are recording this presentation and that it will be shared via our YouTube channel. Okay, so my own duty this evening is to talk about strategic planning and future. I want to define strategic planning and futuring within the context of our discussion as means of thinking, adopting approaches, and taking actions that might increase your chances of achieving your personal goals and that of your family, community, and society at large. So OEF is a wonderful organization as far as I'm concerned because it's a kind of empowering young people to take a trajectory that will allow them to make impacts, by themselves, for their family, and their immediate community and the society as large. So we want to support people to unleash their full potential. Okay, so that's what OEF, as Dr. Kenneth succinctly captured in his presentation. So this is an organization that that is very rare. It's very rare because the philosophy behind OEF is coming from people that are quite exposed, like Dr. AGK, Dr. Nat, myself, Dr. Kane, Engineer Benison, Humphrey. These are people that have been exposed to volunteering. You cannot run this type of organization without volunteering, accepting the concept of volunteering, sacrificing what you have to help people that you may not know, you may not meet in your entire life, knowing that if the person is able to understand and accept the principles being advocated, that the person will become successful as a person, the family will be liberated, and the person will contribute to the community and also to the society, even beyond Nigeria. So that's what we are looking at when we are talking about OEF. It's all about, supporting our people to make impact. So because of time, I will not be able to talk much. However, I listed some tips on how one can start thinking strategically. Anyway, we need to understand that as young people, we may not be able to begin to engage in thinking strategically. What does it mean to think strategically? You need to start thinking about tomorrow, about next year, 5 years to come, 10 years to come, okay, today. It's a very difficult task because some people are overwhelmed by what they are passing through today, such that they don't even know the color of tomorrow. But what I'm saying is that it is very, very possible that you can begin to predict the color of tomorrow from today. It's very possible. And that is what strategic thinking is all about. In Western country, you hear about 2050, 2060. Okay, so, and these are real plans that they're already implementing today. Okay, so strategic thinking is not common in Nigeria because we are battling with, managing the annual budget. We can't even implement annual budget, let alone, thinking about 10 years plan, 15 years plan. But those are the kind of thinking that really help people to succeed in life as an individual and as an organization. So as students, you need to start thinking about have a spectrum of minimum of 5 years at any point in time. Okay, don't wait. First point, you need to think about 5 years in advance, be visionary. Begin to imagine what you want to do after your undergraduate. Don't wait until you finish your NYSC before you start thinking, okay, now that I've completed my NYSC, what do I do? No, don't do that. Because what you may need to do after your undergraduate might be a seed that may be planted within your mind, and you start developing that seed in your second year, third year, or final year, or during your NYSC. Usually I ask people to map out strategies of what you want to do, particularly during your NYSC. Do you want to apply for jobs? What type of job? Do you want to apply for scholarship? What type of scholarship? So you begin to prepare for them, get your transcript, prepare your CV. So you need to think 5 years in advance. You may not be precise, but I want to tell you that once you start thinking strategically, you will always get the better part of life, not the worst part of life, because you are considering all options in advance. So you need to think big, okay? Don't be timid. So you need to be ambitious. One of the challenges I've noticed from our community is that a lot of people are not ambitious. They don't have confidence. I don't know why. And we need to work on that. People need to be confident. They need to, be very ambitious. Do not select the lower part of life. Don't count yourself out of opportunities. Don't go for things that, are not competitive. Go for the big things of life. Okay, so if you are studying mechanical engineering, look for the best things mechanical engineers do and begin to aim for that. If you are studying politics, think of the best things people that read political science do, okay, and begin to aim for that. So you can look for role models in your field and begin to, think like them. Okay, so be very, very ambitious. It's not a crime to be ambitious. So be very, very ambitious. The next thing is you must be a reader and also a leader. So you must develop yourself if you really want to be strategic. When you listen to a talk like what Dr. Kenneth presents or what I'm presenting to you now, you are going to get an experience of many years. Okay, you are going to get an experience of many years, and it can give you leverage. When you read books, you are going to finish somebody's experience of 30 years within 2 hours of reading. Okay, so that's why reading books are very powerful. You're going to get ideas, your imagination, creativity, analytical thinking will begin to, improve by reading. And it is by so doing that you can also start developing your leadership skill. Leadership doesn't mean that you are always, being the person that is in charge. No, you have to start leading by leading yourself. When you set out to do things, can you complete them? Can you monitor yourself? Can you self-control yourself? Can you set goals? Can you pursue your goals? So you start leading yourself, and you now graduate from leading yourself to leading, even in your family. And from your family, you can now go outside and continue leading. So leadership is a sacrifice. It's not just about lording it over on people. It's all about sacrificing to achieve certain goals. So you need to read, always read. Don't limit yourself to reading your core subjects. Please, don't do that. If you are studying chemistry, don't say, I can't read any other thing apart from chemistry. No. Read sociology, read philosophy, read the social sciences, read the newspapers, read articles. Don't be carried away by social media. There is not much there. So you need to read proper books, read from websites, good websites, learn skills that will help you, that will prepare you for the future. So the next one is that you need to choose good and ambitious friends. I must tell you that your friends are a reflection of your values. So when you are choosing your friends, choose friends that will challenge you in a positive way. Don't choose friends that will teach you bad things, that will mislead you, that will dampen your ambition. So friends are really, really very, very, very critical in who you will become tomorrow. So make sure that the people you are hanging out with are the people that will inspire you for greater tomorrow, not those that will mislead you. The next point number 5, is that you should learn by volunteering and become by doing. So as a student, I would encourage you to volunteer in school. It may be in your fellowship, volunteer as one of the ESCOs, volunteer in student union government, volunteer in your community-based organizations, just volunteer in your church, in your local church, anywhere you see opportunity to serve and you think you have the time and the resources to volunteer to serve, I want you to do it, because you are learning some skills that are not taught directly at school. I don't think that they will teach you things like organizational skills, management, time management skills, team building, and all of that. Yes, you can learn them in principle, but you need to start practicing them. Those are the skills that will really help you to cope in life, even when you graduate. So another point is that you need to target good grades and learn, but also learn and get experiences. This is very, very important. Everybody from Onitsha community should aim at getting 2-1 minimum. Okay, that's what we'll encourage you to do, because, for instance, the scholarships, particularly some scholarships and some job roles, require minimum of 2-1, and we want the people to be very, very competitive. Okay, so we want you to be very, very competitive. So you have the opportunity when you are at school to get a good grade. You are not going to do it twice. You can't do your undergraduate twice. So focus on getting your 2-1 once and for all. And you can now start using it to pursue opportunities across the globe. If you can get first class, that's even better. And I know that if you focus, you can get it. Okay, so avoid materialism, focus on developing virtues. You know, materialism is very, very powerful in terms of distracting people. And that's one of the challenges our communities have, because when people have the opportunity to go to school and have the opportunity to be making, let's say, money, 10,000, 20,000 per month, they will not go to school. They go for the small money. Okay, so that's materialism. And at the end of the day, just very few of them will succeed. So focus on developing virtues of loving knowledge, okay, virtue of interpersonal relationship, how to serve others, okay. So learn all those virtues, even when you are doing business or when you are in educational setting or any setting at all you are in, you must focus on virtues, not materials. And the simple logic is this: if you focus on providing values for people, material things will follow you. Material things will just naturally come after you because they are an appreciation of your service. Okay, so focus on virtues and things that are not material in nature. The last point I will raise this evening is that you should use the resources in OEF, and that's because they are free for you, and also you should help people to get access to these materials. Next year, we plan to buy computers, internet, and some IT facilities to keep in the community so that people can use them free of charge, because we notice that one of the barriers for accessing opportunity is having access to computer and internet. Okay, so when we finally get them, make sure you use them. Make sure you also help others to use them, because we want to support each other to create value in the community. So having said that, we'll still allow people to make some contributions. I know Dr. Nat is here, Dr. Ejike is here. I might not be comprehensive, but the conclusion of my presentation is that the decisions you take today will determine where you'll be tomorrow. You can't take a set of decisions that will lead you to point A and expect that at the end of the day, you arrive at point B. It's not possible. That's not how life works. So you have to be very deliberate in taking some deliberate actions. And for you to take those actions, you need to see where it's leading you. And that is a principle of strategic thinking, to begin to see that this action I'm taking today is going to lead me to so and so destination. And you begin to reinforce those actions, like working hard. You don't need to bother about work, the kind of job you do for now. So all you need to do is to focus on studying, learning the skills, getting good grade, and also begin to look for, outline the opportunities you pursue after your studies. And thereafter, when the times come, you go for them and you'll see that you are likely to get them. Okay, so at this point, before we conclude this session, I want to check if we have some students here. If we have, we want to ask them. Okay. I don't think. Okay. Let's say that anyone can make a contribution, because this is going to be recorded and uploaded on our YouTube channel. So this is one of the things we were saying earlier. Our people the digital divide, okay, the gap between those who have computer and internet and those who do not have. So we will see how we can use asynchronous method, that is recording the information and sharing it with them to have access to them when they are able to do so. So we'll continue to do that. Some of them, where they are located, there is no stability in the internet. So if you have any contribution to make, if you are here, whether on the strategic planning or on the opportunities that OEF, has to offer the students, you can make so that we can conclude.
Yeah, I really want to thank the presenters, Engineer Destiny and Dr. Kenneth, for your wonderful presentations. The problem has always been very visible. You cook a very good pot of soup or a very good fried rice, and there are no people to eat it. What do you do? This is supposed to be a student hangout section, but in our midst, we can't even find students amongst us except one or two of them. But thank God for technology too. This online or distant learning is such that it could be synchronous or asynchronous. So God will help us to find a way of getting across to people who could not make it presently, But another thing we will still likely do is God helping us after publishing it at the OEF YouTube channel, we'll be able to advertise the links. The problem we have is still a problem of priorities. Most of the students who should engage in this, when you enter Facebook, you see them spending a lot of money on Facebook data. But this one now, there are talks that will leave you with a lifetime opportunity. This kind of presentation, our people, so somebody may just be this presentation is what the person needs, and he will have a kind of lifetime encounter that he will never recover from. So thank God for this, and thank God for the fact that it's something permanent. Online learning or distant learning is evolving. The place, the stage our community is now is a bit difficult because some people who want to participate, they don't have good network. Some people too who could have also be said to have good network, some of them don't even have the resources. They don't have the devices. Just as Destiny mentioned, getting some hardware, computer and things like that, and install so that some of them can move to some of those locations and they participate. So God helping us, we will get there. God has helped OEF. We started not just about less than 2 years or thereabouts, and God has helped us to make some very meaningful impact in the community, and God will still help us to do more and more.
Amen.
So for as many as we participate or that will listen to this presentation, after we must have published them in the YouTube channels, I encourage you to do your best to benefit from this. It's a burden that God has placed on just a few people. And I'm sure that certain members of OEF don't sleep. Some of them keep awake all through the night. And what they do is thinking, what do we do for our community on the platform of OEF? So take advantage of these opportunities and God will help you. You will not regret it. It will not be long, you too begin to volunteer.
Amen.
And God will also begin to use you to touch other people's lives positively. About this time last year, crossing over to 2021, I saw something in my village that each time I never thought of it shocks me. I kept wondering, where are we heading to? Where do we go from here? Those youths were number up to 100, and they were doing what we could call initiation, just under our nose there, and all of that. And the worst is that politicians support them. They are the one encouraging them because they use them to win election. So this thing we are doing is just the little we can to see how we can salvage our community. It will get to a point where you can't even come to the village again, because these people will likely be a terror to anybody. So the little we can, we are doing, and God will help us such that this effort will yield great success. So thank you very much.
Wow, that was a good one, sir.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, on my dissenting maybe that's actually what we've been saying. I know, but one thing I've been able to identify is some people are very intelligent, like even from our village and some other villages surrounding or within our community, but people are not ambitious. So they want to, sometimes they like the finished product, but they don't like the work.
The process.
The process. You understand? They are not ambitious, so they want. In fact, instead of kind of engaging in that hard work, they prefer to be where they are. They don't just want to stress themselves. So I've just been thinking, even as I'm sitting here, what can we do in order to actually kind of motivate people to kind of aspire to get to a certain point or a certain level, aspiring to let me apply for a scholarship. I'll be able to invest in a particular invest my time in a particular business in order to be like so person and so person and so person. But yeah, I don't just know how to what to actually motivate people in order to do that. Because those days I was in secondary school. Some of them, they will tell you pass and pass out, fell out. Secondary school. And as at that time, it was like the reigning thing. Somebody will come and tell you, no, I don't do mathematics and all that. So, but it's not as if you have maybe Abraham and any of them have Abraham and that will be able to set them into maybe a big business, give them big money. As all of us, So I've just been thinking, how do we motivate people? Is there any way we can make people to have that ambition, to aspire to become maybe to just be what they want to be, or what you and the proud of?
Yeah, I think that's what will dominate our budget session, which will start in 6 minutes time. So most of the programs will be targeted at them, how to realize our strategy. And just as I said, and Dr. Nat reiterated, buying computers, internet, and giving them a kind of recharging it every month and providing power for them to just walk into that center, log in, get access and log in and apply for job, apply for scholarship, or do a personal research,
Yeah. Ima, when I'm saying that, Ima, the problem, is good that we are thinking in that direction and we are planning to put up. The main thing, people use it. That is where the ambition comes from.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
We people use it. Like now, this, as we said, Nat said it, that this meeting was supposed to be for them, as in people, for the students, those that are students and those that actually just graduated from university, to come here, a part of this meeting and all that, they'll be able to gain one or two things, but they're not here. So that is what I'm talking about, ambition. How do I, because it's that ambition that will actually make people to try to get information, and that information is what will drive you into success. So that we really need to how to motivate people into having that ambition, so that when a platform is created, they'll be able to they will aspire to benefit from it.
Okay, one of the things I can do is I can design a Google form to get them to answer this last question, the question of what do they think we should do for them.
Yeah, I think now exactly. This question is very, very important. What do you think OEF should do to support?
Yeah. So I will convert it to a Google
Even your
form.
money over saying 15,000 points.
Okay, at this point, I want to thank you for your contributions, and I hope that the students will watch it. And if you're a student and you watch this, if you have any question, please write us at onichaedufoundation@gmail.com. Thank you so much for coming.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.